Okay guys, and welcome back to the Study Hack series. This is episode 10 in the series, and what we're going to look at today is what to do after you've learned the content. So you have the knowledge, what do you do after that? So for example, you've been using the Feynman technique, you've been trying to visualize as much of the content as possible, and you understand the content, you really understand it, like what's going on, and you really remember all the information. What do you do next? Well, again, we're going to start with a quote, which is by Anton Chekhov. It says, "Knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice." Now, this is basically what I'm trying to say is that you've got this knowledge, you have to do something with it now, okay? And practice, well, what do you think I'm going to talk about? I'm going to talk about practice questions. You have to apply the knowledge that you have. So after you've learned, use the Feynman technique to learn the content, after you visualize as much as possible, or you've stored that information in your head, how are you then going to test your understanding of it? Well, do practice questions. And often you'll see those practice questions in the textbook itself. So like at the end of the 2 pages or whatever, there's some questions there that you can do. Of course, if you would like more questions, then of course you can go online and find questions on that topic, so you can consolidate that. I mean, for example, in maths, which is pretty much the best way to learn is by doing loads and loads of questions. It's even more relevant. Then after you finish the questions in the book, you can go on, like for example, a website like Maths Genie, where it has loads and loads of questions on different topics, and you can perfect that topic by doing loads of questions and mastering it, and thereby mastering the technique for answering those questions. So it's all about putting that knowledge that you have into practice through doing practice questions. And of course, another way that you're going to find practice questions is through past papers as well. So after people finish the entire topics or bunch of certain topics or in the entire textbook, then they start moving on to past paper questions, which again are going to help you in terms of exam technique, and going to give you an idea of where you're going right, where you're going wrong, where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, and which knowledge you need to go back and recap because you got those questions wrong, which parts you're very good at and you're strong at. So questions will reveal your strengths and weaknesses, okay, or your gaps in your knowledge, and that can then direct you in terms of where you need to go to which content you need to go over again, and what you need to start recapping, okay? Because if you think about it, the reason why questions are so important as well is because if you think about how you're going to be tested on this knowledge in an actual exam, well, it's going to be through questions, right? They give you loads of questions, and they're not just going to say, they're not going to give you more text to learn, are they? They're going to give you actual questions to do. So you are actually, by doing practice questions and past paper questions, you are replicating or simulating what they're going to give you in the exam, okay? And you need to learn how to pick up marks, how to exam techniques, how to answer the question, how to go about answering the question, which we look at in another study hack. But the action step in this for this study hack is simply to do as many questions as possible after you've learned content, okay? So like you can even set question targets. I'm going to do 10 questions, I'm going to do 20 questions, I'm going to do 30 questions on this specific topic, or I'm going to do as many questions on this topic as possible before it's finally consolidated in my head, before I finally feel like really comfortable about this knowledge, and I feel like if I got a question on this in a real exam, I would be very, very well prepared to pick up all those marks, okay? So it also comes down to feeling about how many questions you need to do, about how you feel, like how confident you feel about the topic, okay? So that's the action set for today. Do as many questions, even hundreds, I would say, you know, as a recommendation, to make sure that you get that practice in and you apply that knowledge that you've learned. Okay, so please like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel so you can keep getting content, and I will see you in the next study hack.